Hi everyone, welcome to Friday, and if you're here in the States then it's a holiday, which is lovely. And hi Patty, hi Gwen. Just double check that you can hear and see me. It's always good to just double check that before um, you know I start babbling for too long. And hi Rachel, glad you're here, honey. So today we're going to play as we normally do. I'm just waiting to, make sure y'all can see me. Hi, Charlene. And here, yes, thanks, Joan. Hi, Joan. And so today we're gonna play in, or I'm going to play in a couple of gifted journals that were given to me. So I'm gonna share my Happy Mail pile so that you can see if you collect Happy Mail that people give to you. Hi, Leslie. You can, kind of save it. It shouldn't be saved, not saved as in never use it. Saved as in, like a special container that when you know that you're pulling from it, it's coming from people who love you and sent you stuff. So it's delightful. Okay. Hi, Evelyn. Coming all the way from France. Okay, so let's put my hands in the spotlight and let's play, shall we? Okay, so this is my very, very fancy Happy Mail box. It is not all the Happy Mail I've ever gotten because someone also sent me a really big box of paper, so I have that as well, as far as Happy Mail is concerned, but it wouldn't all fit in here. So the two journals that were here came, and just in case, I don't think that Tammy is going to be here today, but if she is, I will send her a private note anyway. But I got some Happy Mail just today, which was delightful. And I love the envelope. I'm going to have to ask her what this is, if it's just a stamp and embossing, but it's always fun to get Happy Mail and then go through it and get ideas. So this was from Zoe and this is from Sarah. I'm acknowledging them in case they watch this after. And this journal is made from a magazine. I'm not 100% sure how Zoe folded it up, but it's super fun. And it doesn't have a lot of fold outs or anything, just this one fold out, which is gorgeous with the eagle. And she tucked some papers in as well. I've used a lot of them already, so there's not a lot, but also an idea of what you can do if you're sending Happy Mail to someone. It doesn't have to be, bigger than an envelope that holds a single stamp. That's all it has to be. It's just a token. And, something simple like this, which again was made from a magazine. And so I'm going to work in that today. I'm going to put this to the side. And then Sarah, my friend here in South Carolina, she got addicted a little bit to the one-page wonder that I shared in a class with her. And so she made me my own one-page wonder that is a combination of me and her, which I found delightful. So the hot pink and the bright turquoise paired with black. She loves black. And then there's tons of this is like dripping blood and there's skeletons and roses. So, that kind of encompasses me and her a lot. She loves the horror. I love skeletons. We love tarot together. I use hot pink and turquoise a lot. So, something fun like this and that you can tuck a few bits in. She only just made a couple pockets. And then I had also shown how to do a waterfall journal. And so she took some license with how she put together one here and then one here. So something else for you to think about when you're building any kind of journal, like look at what someone else has done to it. And she's combined two different types of journals that I have shared with her into one, which is delightful. Hi, Pearl. So I'm going to work in these two journals today. And I love this pocket. I don't think there's anything in the pocket. No, okay, nothing in the pocket. But I love how she had this little coin purse and then added the bit. You can see the turquoise was added as an extra bit. And then A candy eyeball, y'all. A candy eyeball. Yay. All right. So let's just play. I'm going to play, I think, I'm going to save these skeleton for something else, but there is a tag in here. So I'm going to start with the tag and see what kind of Happy Mail things people sent. And I always encourage you to exchange Happy Mail with your friends and your peeps. I guess your friends and peeps are the same thing. Your creative friends, because it always gives you something fun to work with that you might not have. And I'm just pulling all kinds of crazy things are in this. Maybe. Okay. So you just, it tends to, sometimes when you have to go buy something, you end up buying like a bunch of stickers or, a bunch of papers. So when you exchange with someone or, you get bits of other people's collections, then you don't have to buy as much, which is super fun. And you get to try out new supplies. So I love to see, instead of automatically, if it was a big piece of paper, I would rip it. But sometimes I just like to see like what is coming out of the box exactly as is. So what does it fit? Yes. By George. Yes, it does. Hi, Susan. I believe, Susan, you sent me this. If it fits right out of the box and out of my Happy Mail box, then use it. Don't make yourself crazy. That's one of the things I love, like a happy accident like that I can pick up a piece of paper and it fits. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think too much. I put a lot of glue on here, so I want this a little bit further over. I love a happy, that I wouldn't call it an accident, but it's just serendipitous. This fits. It mimics the ripping up here, and it mimics the ripping here. They mimic each other. They match, however you want to say it. Do I want to fold it over? No, I do not. I don't want to fold it over because I absolutely love this paper. It's such a simple thing, just a piece of tracing paper or deli paper, and it is probably like some kind of bronze metallic, like a Sharpie, and it's just simple marks over and over again. And you have this gorgeous paper to work with. All right. All of this was, oh, I love this. This was even sewn. I love this stuff. So now I can add it because it goes with my red. That's fun. This is a sticker of some description. So let me cut the white off. And you can add paint, and I might go back before I glue all this down and add some watercolor or some stamping. But first, I'm kind of just seeing if I like what's happening here. Does it need to be in the center? No. I don't want to put the butterfly on the back, so I'm going to just sit here and put that there. Put this there. And now it needs some paint. It does need some paint. Have my watercolor. Hi to everyone that might have just popped in. So I've got 3 colors going here as far as inspiration. I've got this, these are not using them right now, but this is they've got red, I've got green, I've got a grayish, and I've got this black and white, so I guess 4 colors, and then I have this bronze. So can I go with the metallic? Is there something kind of red? I don't know. I'm going to just pick up and see. Can I make new colors? Because I know how to like mix colors to a point, but I tend to be one of those people that does it by feel. And I say feel, but you know how it looks. I just kind of keep playing until I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. I like that. If color is something that you love, some of you might be very natural at picking colors, but if you're not, then a color theory class might be something that you want to invest a little time in. So I feel like that's a good combination. Hi, Barb. Barb, you and Rachel have little crowns next to your names. I think that's something new. I think that might be your comments. I'm not 100% sure why you have a little crown next to your name. Super fun though. All right, so, whoops. That ties in a little bit of metallic. It ties in my rose. Sorry, it's not as close, but the rose has some orangey feel to it. All right. I'm going to dry this. I have to dry this, and then actually instead of stopping to dry it, I'm just going to leave it to the side and pop into this. We'll work on two things at the same time. So something like this journal that Zoe gave me. Oh my God, look how cute. So this is just a pattern, okay? And then when you flip it, you've got this gorgeous turtle head. And so something like this that Zoe gave me is got a lot already happening on it because of it being a magazine. So how can I enhance? I'm going to move this out of the way too. How can I enhance what is on the page? Okay, so what would be the turtle looking at? Maybe something to eat. All right, I'm going to just bear with me. I'm going to move the camera down just ever so slightly. Let's just get a little closer. Okay, get a little closer. All right, so it could be looking at something to eat. That might work better, like it's looking up from something to eat. I also love this paper and this little moon, which if I'm, thinking it through so I can talk out loud, when I create, I do so very intuitively. And so sometimes these lives are a little helpful for me and you in that I can explain and kind of dive into why might I have picked this up. One, I loved it. It's sparkly. Okay, y'all, it's sparkly. Two, when I look at it, I tend to see like, why might I have picked this up? And it is the coloring, probably. I can't tell you because, again, intuitive. I just tend to do that. But the gold of this and the yellow that's showing up in the turtle's head can have, can match together. So and I can cut this a little so that it's not sitting on the turtle's head. I could even let it stick up a little bit. That's fun. So let's do a little more layering on this. Let's see what else I have. I have a napkin here that has this green on it. And a butterfly. See if I can pull this napkin apart. Feels like I have to think to pull the napkin apart, y'all. There we go. Okay. I'm going to start with that because that feels, this is still drying. Let's put that to the side. That feels good. Going to have to be careful with this napkin because napkins are fragile. I'm actually going to do it this way. Let's do it this way. Since I'm going to be gluing other things down, it won't matter if there's some glue. Stuck. You could have used like Mod Podge or something if your glue of choice. You could use your glue of choice. This is mine. So like a Mod Podge or even some white glue if you want it. All right, so I'm starting to add to the background. I love that, and I love this still. Okay. Is there anything else I want to add? I don't know. I'm diving in. Now we're just going to test some stuff. This I pulled out strictly for the color, because it starts to pull in another layer of color. Ooh, loving that. Okay, let's go with that. And again, don't think about it too much. Unless you are, I mean, if you're making something for a person, like as a gift, and you're going for something very specific, then yes, you know, you can take a little time to think it through, but, do not spend all your time. This is about, you know, for me, it's more about play, and someone, whoever you do it for, is going to think you're still an amazing person. And if they don't, then they're not deserving of what you made. Don't give them anything again. All right, I'm going to try and tuck this little bend. I have like this little curve here. I'm going to tuck that over the turtle's nose. And I'm going to leave a little bit sticking up. And this is a little bit on the thicker side. I believe this is watercolor paper. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue as opposed to a glue stick. So something a little bit stronger. You could even use some double-sided tape if you wanted. I also love the idea that the word date is showing. Today is a holiday in the US, so that's kind of fun. And then it needs a word, y'all. You know, that's what I need. It needs a little word. So I have a sheet of words. And the word belong popped out. Not thinking about it too much. What pops up? I like to think, and I try to trust. Excuse me, gotta grab a water. Hang on. Excuse me. Got a tickle. I try to trust that what I pick up is what I'm supposed to pick up or look at or see in that moment. Try not to second guess yourself too much. There's some doodling on here, so I'm going to actually enhance that. Even the card a little bit. So your happy mail, if it comes, might not be a finished piece. It might just be the start of something that maybe the sender lost interest in and thinks maybe you might have some interest in it. There you go. So someone had asked, I don't know who it was, made a comment, and hopefully you're here or are going to watch the replay of this, and I will do more in another video, but I had used magazine pages in my master junk journal that I've been playing in, and she was very interested in, what do you do with magazine pages once you put them down? Do you cover them? Is it the beginning of it? Is it the end of it? Like, you know, and there's so much you can do with a magazine page. This one was very, not that it was obvious, that would be, because to some of you it might not have been obvious, but it was a simple choice, and because the turtle was what was speaking to me. So sometimes there are pages here that they're all words. Now I might go through and find that I love some of the words here and maybe do some blackout poetry, and that would be where I begin. And then from there I could put some color or something else down. So, you know, it depends. I know when Zoe made this, like doing the fold out of the eagle, I don't know that I would do a lot to this page. I might go in and draw like a mandala, like in the wing, like a doodled mandala around the whole eagle in some like gold metallic pen. So that would, all that would do would be still me being creative, but it would enhance the eagle. Okay. So when you pull pages from magazines, sometimes you're using a magazine because you just need a piece of junk mail. And so this is a piece of junk mail. This doesn't necessarily is wings or feathers, and it is wings, but it's feathers. This is just color. This is just a background. You starting from scratch is just a background. Okay. So I hope that helps whoever it was, and I will have more ideas. Thank you, Susan, about, you know, how to use magazines, and try not to overthink them too much. If you were drawn to the page, there was probably a reason you ripped it out. The reason could have been you just needed a page. That's a good reason. So I love that. Good start to that journal. All right, let's go back to this one. All right, so we see what happened. This is cardstock. So I'm going to take some water onto the back of it and see if I can flatten it out the other direction. I'm gonna mute for a second. So if you've never seen that trick, there's a trick for you. When you have paper that's curling or watercolor paper that starts to buckle, sometimes it helps to just put water, clear water on the other side, clear water, fresh water, clear water on the other side, and dry it, and it flattens it-ish. It doesn't and nothing flattens it back. It's wet paper. It will never be perfectly flat. All right, so we had our rose that we wanted to add to this. We've got our little ribbon, because we're going to add this on as well. I also have this gorgeous butterfly. And then we'll dive in. Let's see. No, I don't think any of these are going to work. So let's go back. Let's go back to the box, y'all. Let's see what's in the box. Actually, I'm going to pull this out, since this was the newest. Look, I got a butterfly button. For those that are in the membership, you might know who that's from already. Ooh, look, got a C. The dragonfly. See, that's really cool. The dragonfly has got these colors, and it's got those colors. So can I layer up my bugs? I think so. Let's see what else I got. See, this is what's fun from getting stuff from someone else. There's these little strips of paper. One, I love these. That might be something fun. And two, this was, you know, stripped off of something that she had made. Plus there's this. This is delightfully fun. All right, not thinking. Just gonna start gluing. See what I can layer up here. That doesn't like to stay very straight. That's what happens when you have holes in your paper. It moves. All right, so that just adds another bit of texture. I love this for the green. Let's see. And a bit of the orange is going to mimic these marks. And everything doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. It's just that's how, right now, my brain is working. But nothing, you know, doesn't have to be all matching. Does this have to be in the middle? Good question. Does it? Maybe. All right, since I'm covering it, I'm going to use, this is a bigger surface to glue on, so I'm going to glue it this way. And I might need a different glue, but It is not a tag that I'm going to be hanging and moving and doing stuff with. It is a tag that's going to sit in a pocket. Okay? So, I'm not being crazy. I do not create, as I've said in the past, as a legacy. I create for the now. So, it doesn't matter to me if one day all of this falls apart. That wasn't the point. The point was that in the moment, I had fun. So that's a personal choice, by the way. I do not ever tell anyone, don't, you know, it's okay if it's not for a legacy. You do you. If you want to save it for future generations, then that is awesome. Okay, let's glue this down. Even if your own scraps are cool and fun, somehow other people's are the more exciting to play with. No, Rachel, that is so true. That's why I kept all the Happy Meals separate, because I was like, ooh, I don't have this. This isn't mine. This, by the way, I have a feeling, because I know Sarah, this came from something called a Pooli printer, P-O-O-L-I. And it looks like almost like an X-ray, which is really fun. I think it had a lot to do with the types of paper that she put in it. I don't want to lose these. All right, and then I don't know if this is a sticker. This might not be a sticker. Nope, it's not a sticker. All right, not a sticker. It is a little bit on the thicker side, so again, just opting for my white glue. Gotta remember to put the pin in it. I keep forgetting. Boop. Chop off the wing of the dragonfly. If you don't know that yet, dragonflies are my thing. I have one tattooed into my skin, and I have my logo here is a dragonfly on for my business. That is cute. I even like that this is sticking up. All right, is that good? Do I think it's done? Do I think it's done? No. Someone here can tell me, how do I know when it's done? Since some of you are like, well, how will we know? When it stops talking to me is usually my go-to. And it was still talking to me. And what I mean by that is, oh, Tammy, you're here. Look what I got today. Very exciting. And I've used a couple pieces already. What I mean by that is when I was looking at this tag, this section right here of the plain paper with just the coloring that's all I was focusing on. I was not actually looking at any of the things that I had glued down. I was literally focused on this. And so that means to me, it wasn't done. Because if it was done, my eye would have been kind of traveling and enjoying the rose and the little doodle that's on the rose and this and that and all the other things. And it kind of goes around the whole piece gently and peacefully. That's how I determine if my work is done or not. And so when this piece keeps screaming at me, I'm plain, then I have to make a decision and see what I want to do. So this black showed up. The bit of doodling that's on this, I pull it up and you can see there's like in the whatever this is, from a magazine, I believe, there's a little bit of doodling in here. And then there's this really dark, which is probably a green. So a doodle pen helped finish it by giving it something of interest, like a border to end it. And now it feels done. When I look at it, I see everything as opposed to one little thing. So that's just something for you to think about as you're working through your own pieces. Like, how do they feel? Do they feel done? Do you keep coming back to one little thing that keeps bothering you? There might be something on this that keeps bothering you because for you it's not done, or you it's overdone, or I put something on it that you wouldn't have added. And that's something just to play with for yourself and think about, what does that mean to me? Would I have done something different? How would I have approached it different? So, all right. So I've got my tag, which I'm going to put into my journal. So now I have another piece of blue that's sticking up. I love it. Okay, let me check the chat for a second because I see something that I wanted to make sure. Yes, I got the happy mail. Thank you. Yes, Barb said she finds, hooray for fun. I find other people's scraps better than mine. Yes, that's always true. And I do love dragonflies. Yes. Barb said, I'm just starting, so I don't have a lot of stuff. That's very true. We all have to start somewhere, and you'll be shocked how fast you will accumulate things, Barb. You just have to keep an eye out for fun, interesting things as the world moves around you, receipts and bags and all of that shows up, okay? And then I love dragonflies. I also have a dragonfly tattoo. Ooh, that's awesome, Barb. Yay, you. Okay, Linda, I put a pin in my glue and it came out dark and rusted. You have to make sure that the pin is stainless steel that goes in, okay? Not all pins are stainless steel. So I learned that from someone else having that happen to them, and I did a little bit of research, and I guess the pin that comes with it, I guess is stainless steel, but go and find yourself a stainless steel pin. Okay, I hope that will help and make it not rust on you again. Okay, so I did a tag. I'm going to go back to this because I'm finding this kind of fascinating, this little book. I'm also, like, this stayed out from the Happy Mail, and I'm loving it. So I'm like, let's go and flip through and see what I got here. Oh, I love this. So one horse head here, one horse head here. That's really fun. All right, so this is folded in. It is folded completely. It's not like a pocket or anything. And so this is another piece of green. So the abruptness of this and this is not terrible, but by putting this piece here, it feels a little more cohesive. So we've got that. Let's see what else is in this little packet. Those are too bright for what I'm doing. All right, this is really fun. So this is like a homemade or homemade. It's homemade paper. It's like a handmade paper. I love the mysterious and misunderstood. That is going to stay. But the words up here, maybe not so much. So we can glue that down. I love this idea here. So now I've come, without meaning to, kind of ended up with a little bit of a theme of green, okay? I also, Sarah sent this moon, loving that. And what else? What else, y'all? Okay, I've got this. I also got a packet of where someone overseas, instead of sending it from their country, waited until their husband traveled to the US and then mailed it from there. And so that was delightful. Clara, thank you. That was delightful. I have this little tree. Okay, I think we might have something here. All right, let's glue it all down, see what happens. Okay. Said okay like 12 times. First, we need the fancy paper. Which is not loving this glue stick, but let's see how much of it we can get down. So this way the words become background, okay? It's not as whoosh, in my face. That was a very technical term, that whoosh. All right, since we seem to be sticking little bits of paper out, let's do it that way. So sometimes you fall upon the weirdest little theme for a book, which is bits of paper sticking out the top. That seems to be, you know, what this is going to have. That was an accident due to the fact that I left this out, but now I've got this little piece. So as I go through this journal, I will probably feel like I need all of these. I will probably end up doing that for a lot of the pages, to put little bits sticking up, because I've started a trend. Okay. Wendy, if you email me, I will give you my address. If you would like to send Happy Mail to me, that would be awesome. Thank you. If you need my email address, let me know. But you can even go through my contact form on my website. Okay. And the link to the website is in the description below. Thank you. That's very lovely. I love Happy Mail. A little bit goes a long way, y'all. Just remember, this is for everybody. Now I love this, but it is on a curve. Do y'all see me struggling with this? I shouldn't be struggling with this, but yet I am. So say sometimes this is like, that's wrong. It's just not working, so I give it up. Sometimes you just have to say, well, that's wrong. That doesn't need to be there. Maybe it just needs to be there in little pieces, as opposed to me trying to, almost like I was trying to force fit this curve of flowers. I think there are herbs. I was gonna say, does anyone recognize that language? I don't want to say the wrong language. Okay, so if you recognize it. I'm French, so I don't speak perfectly. I watch you with more attention. Oh, well, that's lovely. Yes. I don't know if you can turn on French subtitles, but you're welcome to try that. I'm not sure if that works with the lives. Oh, German. That's what I thought. I thought that it had come. I thought Clara was German, but I didn't want to say that and be wrong here. All right. Cool. Let's glue this down. So I'm going to do it where I cut it with this little piece here. So I'm just going to use that as my marker. And I'm going to glue the tree down, and I might need to glue the moon underneath, but we'll see. Because obviously the moon is behind the tree, but it doesn't have to be. It's my landscape. I can do anything I want. By the way, thank you, Sonia, for telling me that it was German. That was helpful. Okay. I got my big old moon. And I'm still loving these, so I'm going to rip a couple of them. See if they work. I like the idea of the fact that it's almost like the horse is, you know, got like a meadow that it's coming up against. Wow, this is some crazy paper. All right, let's do one more. Wendy, you said caption over the moon to create. Oh, you want the caption to say over the moon to create? Is that how I'm reading that? Why does this feel like this might be a sticker? Y'all, this might be a sticker. It's shiny on the back. don't know what this is. So, like, is it a sticker? Is it a transfer? I can't figure it out. If it was a sticker, that would be really fun. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gluing it down. So it might be just part of something else and it's hard for me to tell. But instead of fighting it, if it is a sticker, I'm just gluing them down. Oh, she just like, okay, sorry, y'all flipped through there. Thank you so much, you're welcome. Yes, please, I like that. No moon, maybe. No moon, maybe. Huh, maybe. So here's where y'all get to make decisions. Let's see, what is this plastic? I've got a piece of it now. Nope, I think it's just stuck on plastic. Could have been like a packaging or something. The moon might not work for you, Miss Linda. And yet I can't get the moon out of my head. And that's the joy of creating. Like I cannot not see the moon there. So guess what's going on? The moon. Also, see the words M-O? Ha! It was telling me that it needed to be the moon. And that's why I always say, when you're watching someone else create and you don't agree, I'm going to use the word agree, with what they just did, good information, y'all. Good information. All right? It just means that you have a different style. Your personality is different. Your lived experiences are different. And that's perfectly okay. This is how you start to develop your own style and realize that everybody does it differently. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Yes. And now with the MO, it works. And that's something that, you know, some people might not even have noticed. I didn't notice. I'm going to have to do something. Plastic is not working. This is also how you learn your supplies. I didn't notice the MO until I went to glue down the moon. And then I was like, oh, look, MO right there. Moon it is. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do, there's some gold speckles here, because it still feels a little unfinished. And when in doubt, y'all, splatter gold. Well, when in doubt, splatter, period, but I'm gonna add some gold. I'm getting gold everywhere. Okay, and this to me just ties it all across. So the gold in here had me splatter here, put it on the tree, a little bit on all of these little herbs, and definitely out over by the horse. Maybe even a tiny bit, make sure I don't want to like cover the horse, but I want to make sure a couple gold splatters get on the horse, because then it ties it all together. Okay. And now I love it. It is mysterious. The horse is mysterious and misunderstood. Now those words were there first. Okay. I didn't, that was there first. And here, the horse is misunderstood. The wording, because I speak English, is mysterious to me. So here's how you can tell a story with an art journal page, which is truly delightful. And I have to see, it's also mysteriously what these were. Why was it plastic underneath? Or and so I have to see how it closes. I still need to figure out how to glue this down better, but that's okay. But now I have a story of a horse in winter, or I guess it's not really winter, it feels a little wintry, with a Christmas tree at night in Germany. Ta-da! There you go. All right. So there we go. And I love that my theme of having pieces of paper sticking out the top. That's just crazy to me. Love that. Okay, let's see what I got. I still have a little bit of time. And are any of you, by the way, playing around? Are you playing around? Are you playing with me? Are you just here hanging today? This just feels like appropriate for today. Are you just hanging? Are you... Some of you here probably have the day off. If by here I mean the US. Most everybody is, unless you work in an industry that needs to be on. Okay, so I got that. Let's see what else Sarah put in hers. This is just cracking me up. Sorry, y'all can't see. It's a iridescent fish skeleton female. I guess it's a skeleton mermaid. Oh my God, hilarious. That is so us, it's ridiculous. I feel like I'm not doing, on these lives, I don't do a lot of getting up and doing stencils and stamps and things. But let me grab some stamps I got yesterday. There. I went to my art thrift store yesterday. Y'all, you see this bag of stamps? It was $3. $3. And yes, they're all used stamps, but delightful. So let's see if any of them, I went through and got florals. It was a floral kind of day for me. A bee. Let's do that. Maybe the fern, but in blue. So, I don't use, a lot of times on these lives, I'm going to dig for paint, if you're wondering what the clacking noise is, I'm looking for an ink pad. I do a lot of collage on these days because it's easy, as opposed to trying to dive into, let's do that, a lot of paint and stenciling, but at some point I will come back and do more of that. All right, this feels like it needs to be glued there. This needs to glue here. Because truly, I like all the supplies, not just collage. It's just that every once in a while I get on this collage kick. And I just want to glue all the stuff down. Of course, it helps when y'all send me stuff, and then I must glue all the stuff down because you're sending me paper. All right. Sorry, I have to look. I'm going to look at the chat in 2 seconds. Let me just get this napkin started. Try not to glue 2 pages together. I forgot that she did this. She stenciled gesso on some of the pages so that I would find it. I forgot as a surprise. Y'all. And I'll show you why she did that in a hot minute. Super fun. I forgot that. She even told me she did that. All right, to the chat. Let me make sure. Okay, summer resting. Be sure to use the middle layer of the napkin. The middle layer of the napkin. There's a middle layer. Did I just glue the whole napkin down? There might have been a middle layer, and I think I glued 2 of them down, Tammy. I'll have to go back and find where that, I just threw it on this table. So, okay. Yes, the moon shape echoes the green. I love that. Thank you. I hadn't noticed your background phase, okay, not sure what that, Wendy, I'm not sure I understood what that meant. Okay, so some of you are doing a little of both, hanging, resting. I know, Rachel, this is definitely your rest thing. There's still another layer. Oh my God, there's still another layer. Okay, I will play with that. Okay, I will play with that, Tammy. I see that. I will figure that out. I love the mermaid. Yes, it's awesome. Joan is just listening to my words of wisdom while collaging. Oh, I love that. Doing other things, enjoying your company. Thank you. Yes, a field trip for a live get together. Yes, you mean I'm working on a retreat, a live retreat, Tammy, if that's what you're talking about. Next year, I'm working on having a retreat here in my hometown. And yes, we'll be going to the thrift store for sure. Multiple fern in blue and purple will mimic the seaweed. Love this. Yes, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, pretty. There are 3 layers. Okay, I will figure that out. Oh, back with the moon mysterious. Okay, got it. All right. Yes, the retreat. It will, I'm working on all the details, y'all. You're going to have to, I will give you at least 5 or 6 months notice. It will be in April or May of next year. That we will be doing a retreat here. It will be 3 days, 3-ish days. I'm still looking for some blue. I'm just not in love with what I have here. Okay, guess what? I'm in love with what I have here because I can't find it. So it will be a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. And one of the days, probably Friday, the first one, we will go to the thrift store because it was requested multiple times. When I went yesterday, I was at the thrift store kind of like walking through it, trying to look at it from y'all's perspective. Would they like it? Would they think it was fun? And yes, I said it would be fun. I think y'all would have a good time. We'll turn it into a bit of a, not necessarily a scavenger hunt, but where we can pick up things to use in the class. All right. I like my fern. Ooh, Wendy. Yay, that would be a great gift to yourself. I will have the details soonish. I promise, everyone. I promise. All right, this stamp pad has been compromised, so I never know what color it's going to be. But let's see what I get. Oh, no, pretty yellow. Okay. Well, that's kind of crazy pants. It needs something else, but I feel like I want to stop for a second, and I wanted to show you why, some of you already know this, but why there's gesso on this page. And hopefully it will work, but yeah, hopefully. She might have needed to make it a little bit thicker. Nope, it's showing as it dries. As it dries. You see what happens? The gesso repels the paint. And it dries differently on the paper than it does on the gesso. And depending on how thick you make the gesso is how fast it will pop up. But you can see. Super fun. All right, we'll go back to this. Okay, what else do I want to do with this? It's like a crazy sun. Sometimes you just gotta try the weirdest things. I think this is some kind of wrapper. Let's see what happens. This is my version of a holiday. Hi, Liam's art. It might have grabbed it. Linda said, "Why does it rebel?" I thought gesso would grab paint. I think it's that it's watercolor, not that it's acrylic paint. I think it's that it's the watercolor is sinking into the paper differently than where it would sink into the paper the gesso is in, because the gesso is starting to like thicken up the paper. Like when you put gesso on a canvas, it is so that it gives it a surface to cling to. So it's like taking away the absorption factor of the paper. I think that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Linda. So the gesso is taking away the absorption, because this is just cardstock. So watercolor and cardstock is like a sponge. So the gesso is kind of taking that part away. Thanks, Susan. I'm kind of like, this kind of feels like a party on a page. Maybe like the summer solstice. We got our party, like a totem of some description. Some nature, a bit of sun. Feels a little like summer solstice party. I don't know if I have anything else that will work on this. Let's see what we got. But I don't know. This is feeling, I'm not sure if there's anything else. I do art content too. Awesome. Well, good. Good for you, Liam. You keep doing your art. Everybody should keep doing their art. So I don't know if this needs anything else. Anyone? Anyone? Is there something that you're like, it would look good if? Nothing is coming to mind, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's done, or I need to let it be done for now because what I'm looking for isn't there. Maybe edge the page. Maybe. Because everything I pick up is like, nope, 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 nope. edge the page. Let's see. Okay, so when I hear that, I'm going to my Inktense pencils. I'm looking for the one I destroyed recently. I think this is the, nope, that's bright blue. You can see I've been using these straight from the pencil. These are Inktense pencils. I'm looking for my indigo. Okay, since I keep picking up the same pencil. Deep indigo. Okay. I feel like indigo is the way to go. Look at that. I made a rhyme. And Tammy, I don't know if this is quite what you meant, but this is what popped in my head. And that's the other good thing. That's why I like prompts. Some of you own most of my prompt decks. And so a prompt like, I would edge the page. Okay? How would you edge the page? What would that mean to you? And what Tammy had in her head and what I ended up doing might not have been anything close to each other. And that's okay. Neither of us were right or wrong, but we are different artists. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we had a couple words. Looks good, maybe edge the page, yes. That bug, the bug, the bug. One of these bugs, maybe, which could be kind of interesting. And then Becky said words, yes. I would have used an ink pad, yes. That I thought of that too, but I still wanted the blue and I can't find my blue. Is there still time to do your survey on the stamps? Oh yes, Gwen, whenever. I only just started working on the stamps. So absolutely, you can send me your stamp survey if you would like. Always, always. I mean, y'all, the survey was through my membership for those that are like, what survey? And soup to nuts, y'all picked. So in the end, I will pick what works easiest for the first, because it looks like it's going to be a go, hopefully, that I will have some cling stamps that will be commercially made. So that will be delightful. It will not be a quick process, I'm sure, so do not hold your breath. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to see if this bug, and whether, Wendy, this was what you meant or not. When you said bug, this is what popped in my head, because I picked up this, I think it's tissue paper with a bug on it. Of course, I also have the option of cutting off the bug's antenna, which I'm going to do. Do I like the bug? I like the bug, but not the whole bug. I like the bug because of the flower, but I don't want the whole bug. Let's see. We glue down the bug and then we'll go from there. Oops. I've glued the bug to my paper. It's kind of fun. It's off to the side. Gwen, I don't know if you sent me, Gwen, if you sent me tissue paper, if you sent me Happy Mail. This might have been from your Happy Mail. Maybe. I had someone send a bunch of this stuff, so I think this might have been Kimber. But I know that you sent me some stuff recently too. All right, so I've got this purple of the bug, whether I put the bug where you all were thinking or not. How fun is it for me to ask your opinion and then do what the heck I want? Don't you love that? What do you guys think? Should I do this and then I do exactly what you tell me not to do? All right. I love the bug, but it's got purple, of which there's not a whole lot of purple. So how about we add a touch of purple here and there. That way the bug doesn't feel left out. Yep, page my way. All right, it's actually kind of fun because you're like, what is that? Is it a flower? Is it a bug? Is it a flower? Is it a bug? It's all of the same. And then I feel like there needs to be a word up in my sun. Y'all, I've lost the words. Well, I've never lost my words, but you know what I mean. I've lost the word sheet. Hello, where is the word sheet? Oh, here it is. This table is a absolute banana pants. All right. Let's see. What would I do? A word for the summer solstice. Anyone have a... I'm going to go with that. Can you enhance the yellow bee? I probably could with some white. A white gel pen just to make it stand out more. So shine. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Do I have shine on this? I do not. That's a good one. Sparkle. No, not quite. All right, I'm going to leave this here while I grab my white gel pen. If anyone sees a word, I will give it some thought, but shine is not on my thing. Oh, you said enhance the yellow bee. Okay, you might have meant this bee, and I automatically went to the beetle. Linda? Show so much I was paying attention. But if you meant these bees, I probably could, but I actually like how they're blending into the background. Okay. Enlighten or reflect. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go with reflect. Thank you both, Wendy and Sue. Is it reflect on here? I should look. Yes. Okay. And do I want it in the sun or do I want it under the sun or part of the, there? Like at first I was like, does it need to be in the sun? I don't know. I'm going to crowdsource this one. In the sun, here's my 3 choices. On the sun, to the side on both the tall piece and the sun, or does it need to go somewhere else? So I'm crowdsourcing, y'all. You tell me. I'll actually listen to the most. I'll actually listen to you this time. On the sun. Wendy picked number 2. Gwen picked number 1. The side between both, Patty. Okay. Not on the sun. Oh, good. Okay. There you go. So over here, you got it. There you go, peeps. I got angled at the top of the stem. So there y'all go. One more thing, where is my pen? Let's see this one. This is just a me thing. I have to scratch around the word. That's a me. All right, friends, and there is my Beetle Reflect Summer Solstice Celebration New Stamp Celebration page. So let's look at what we did today. We did this one, delightful. By the way, all this except for my stamps were Happy Mail. We did our little thingamabobby here, our little tag, okay. I love, 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 love. And then we did 2 pages in this with, Zoe sent me this magazine little journal made from magazine, folded magazine pages. And sometimes when you get like a new journal like this, threw me a little bit. Not that it, I knew it wouldn't throw me for long, but at first I was like, I don't want to cover a lot of this stuff. I mean, hello, isn't that just ridiculously delightful? But once you get started and you start looking at it specifically through the lens of what does the page look like, as opposed to I'm flipping through it and I'm like, I don't want to cover all this stuff up. This may be because it's an advertisement, but some of it's really fun. So then you could look at it more narrowly, which is by page. The turtle, where can I go from that? And it like starts to open up your mind. Creativity feeds creativity. We all know that. The more you do it, the more you do it. So when you're feeling like, I don't want to be creative, I can't think of anything to do, I want you to just go and glue stuff down. Or take every stamp pad that you own and just stamp all over a piece of paper, okay? So once you start, then you starts to feed itself, okay? So one of the things that a lot of people tend to wait for when creativity, wait till I'm being inspired, wait till I have an idea. You could be waiting till the horses come home. So don't wait, go do something. Even if you just took watercolor and splashed it all over a piece of paper, that is something. It gets your juices flowing. And I really think that that's important, okay? My favorite is the horse and the moon. Oh, thanks. I like all of them. I think my favorite is the turtle, honestly. Mostly because he just looks so calm. He's like, I just belong here. This is where I need to be. All right, let me put my face back in the spotlight. Hi friends. So I hope you enjoyed that today. And I hope you, if you are playing along or doing your own thing, I hope these Fridays give you just a space to come to and tap in to your curiosity and your play and just some fun times, okay? And if you need me, I'm an email away. If you have any questions, please either email me or put a comment below and I will, respond. I read and comment to all the comments. And then my next Friday, we will be here again in 2 weeks. There will be some later in the year. I always will announce them ahead of time. And I also, if you are not on my newsletter, that is the place that everyone finds out everything about. The link to my newsletter is below, so you can absolutely go. Thank you all for being here, by the way. For those that are thanking me in the chat. The newsletter, I send a newsletter every Sunday. With all the updates of what's going on with my life and my creative world and how you can get in contact with me, how you can play along with me, how you can buy things from me because, this is my job. Also, pep talks and encouragement and prompts for you to do and things for you to think about your creative practice. So if you're not on my newsletter, please join that. And that way you'd also know about all the YouTube lives because that's when I do it. So the 18th is when the next one will be. And if you, I don't see you before then in all the places, have a wonderful beginning of your July. The second half of the year has begun, my friends. Make it interesting, make it fun, make it playful, and try to just have a good time. Even in the hard times, how do you have a good time? Glue a piece of paper down, stamp a stamp, I don't know, swish some watercolor. Okay? You have to find the fun. All right. Thank you. Love you all. And I will see you all soon.